I just think what he wrote in 91 is crazy.
Fascinating.
I mean, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, what you see from him is, you're like, he fought against all the tech oligarchs in China, capitalism, any notion of Chinese capitalism he was completely against. And Xi Jinping and him together have realized that altering centers of power in China, which really, we were talking about this in the Hu Jintao block, are threats to the control of the Chinese state. That's part of the why they love zero COVID. Like, whether it makes sense or not, they love the fact that they have the scientific capability to just lock people in their homes for as long as they want, and people will comply. That's the crazy thing to me.
Here's the thing, is obviously I reject authoritarianism here, there, anywhere.
Right.
They were far more correct in their analysis of how this would all unfold.
Yeah, he was right.
We were.
Right, he was correct.
Our supposedly wise and serious thinkers were telling us that, oh, if we have permanent normal trade relations with China, then they're going to inevitably basically become westernized, become liberal. They're going to become an image of us. Chinese had their own plan, and they executed it. And it's, you know, they used that our own, you know, opening of markets and free trade, quote unquote, to bolster their own industry, to lift many millions of their own population out of poverty. And now that they're in the position to do so with the Belt and Road Initiative, they're basically like, now we're going to make ourselves so that we're not economically dependent on the U.S. They have a plan they have executed really well, and they've understood where our flaws are, and they have diagnosed them far more accurately than our own thinkers have been able to. And so his words there, I mean, how prescient are they ultimately? Like, that's exactly where we are.
Yeah, he nailed it.
There's nothing, you know, we are just, the whole value here is profits and consumerism, and it just strips out any sort of like core values. And so, you know, even what he's saying about like the foremost product of capitalism is loneliness. Look at the numbers across the country. Look at them. Deaths of despair, suicide, addiction. I mean, all of these things, and we just become increasingly more disconnected, increasingly lonelier, because ultimately it's profitable. Making people feel badly about themselves and their lives, and oh, if I only had the newest gadget, the newest thing, then I'd be happy and I'd be fulfilled. That is one of the central features of capitalism. And now we're at a place where it's not even like capitalism that, you know, innovates and creates these cool new products. No, it's just like it's self-perpetuating. It's like eating itself. It's all financialized. It's all just about how to game the system. There's so little innovation and actual like increases in productivity coming out of our system at this point. So pretty remarkable to see how much he nailed us.
I'll tell you why it scares the shit out of me, because these people, I believe them now. I think they're smart. I think they know exactly what they're doing. And everybody's like, oh, you know, they're not going to invade Taiwan because it crashed the global economy. I don't think they give a shit about the global economy. I think they care about fulfilling their prophecy and about consolidating power for the CCP. And that's all they care about. And so there's this notion, you know, there's the theory of democratic politics, right? That democratic states don't go to war because they have trade and they have similar economic systems. So, it's all fake. Yeah, exactly. They have
totally fake.
Listen, I've been to McDonald's in China. It's good. It wouldn't prevent them from us going to war.
It wasn't just that. And this is what we've seen with Russia really clearly. Like, actually, those systems of radical free market fundamentalism have made us much more vulnerable, have created, in the end, much more chaos and much more fragility. I mean, if we didn't learn that from the COVID pandemic, I don't know what we learned. Like, everything became much more fragile because of this ideology, and ultimately we find ourselves, you know, in a war, proxy war in Ukraine, and facing down the possibility of another one in Taiwan. It's been a total, complete disaster, not to mention the like potential planetary collapse that we brought on ourselves. And yet this sort of zombie ideology continues to hold on here as well. So very thought-provoking, Saagar.
Yeah, thank you.
Cable news is ripping us apart, dividing the country, making it impossible to function as a society, and making it impossible to know just what is true and what is false. But the good news is they are failing and they know it.
That is why we're building something new, a new mainstream, a healthier one, something more trustworthy, something that we are going to need in one of the most pivotal times in American history. We are building up here for the midterms, for the upcoming presidential election, but we need your help. So if you can help us out by becoming a premium member today at breakingpoints.com, we're trying to change America for the better and the entire world.
So what are you waiting for, guys? Go to breakingpoints.com and sign up and help us build a new mainstream.